Everyone, is a brand new year, and so we want to learn some hot takes and some cool insights on what is new with heating and air. So obviously we had to bring in the experts from McClintock Heating and Cooling. Guys, I'm happy to have you here so that we can talk about what's new this year.
Absolutely. Good to be here.
Good to be here.
So Rob, I want to kick it off with you. I hear that there is a new product that's going to be making its way to the market, and we want to get familiar with it, especially from a consumer perspective, right?
That's correct, Jana. There is a new product out. It's a new Freon, and it's kind of a deja vu for me that we went through this about 10 or 15 years ago. So Freon, or refrigerant, the liquid or fluid that's in Freon, in air conditioning systems, has been replaced with a new environmentally more friendly product. And with that brings change, a lot of misinformation, and a lot of concern from homeowners sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, and we can see that, especially when we're looking at social media and random Facebook posts and neighborhood watch and things like that. But really, what are the facts about this new product? I mean, it sounds like it's actually going to be bringing people advantages, but we want to make sure that it is safe. And if you guys are using it, I know it is.
Yeah, it's very safe. You know, we work with all kinds of things like natural gas and already, so this really isn't anything new or different, but it does show where you need to have a professional licensed contractor to work on your equipment to make sure it's installed properly and up to manufacturer specifications.
So obviously we want to make sure it's safe. We want to make sure it's installed and supported by professionals just like you guys. Now, obviously I have to ask from my perspective, I paid that power bill. Did anybody else have an extra zero or some more things going on? What does this year look like in terms of just finances that people are putting into that, and how can we make it better?
Well, it was a cold winter. If you remember, January was really, really cold, but a lot of people are in shock about their power bill. But if you think about it, when it's cold, your system is running harder, so and it's running more, longer, and all of those things attribute to a higher power bill. There are some things you can do to save some money. Energy efficient equipment, investing in that is probably one of the best things you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Rob, obviously I have to ask you, when I am paying that power bill, making sure that our equipment is not just invested in, but also maintained, right?
Absolutely. It needs to be maintained, and as we come into the spring, you certainly want to have your system serviced by your contractor or us, obviously. But as you look to replace your system and invest in higher efficiency equipment, I recommend looking at a high efficiency heat pump. And with that, there are lots of options. You can look at an inverter type heat pump, which is a big word for just a more comfortable heat pump. And then there's a product that's been out a long time, but it's gaining traction around the area with some utility rebates, and that's called a dual fuel system. And it's simply an electric heat pump backed up by a natural gas or propane gas furnace.
Well, it sounds like there's lots of options, which is great because I love to save money and I love to make sure it's got a local touch to it. So thank you guys so much for joining us and giving us the hot scoop on the cool things to do this year to save a little money on your heating and cooling.
This segment of QC Life was sponsored by McClintock Heating and Cooling.